sense though. It's common sense.
Selling drugs to his own people. You know that's what he was doing. Make a quick buck, he do it, man. Fuck Jake, man.
And that's just the mentality right about now, man. The mentality is that, look, man, to hell with the 2/3 of Jake. You know, if you can't understand this truth, you can't get it, then you can't get it. If you meant to be destroyed by those missiles, then that's just your life, baby. That's just the way that goes down. Like the brother was saying, he said, look, you know, we just school these niggas, these niggas, because we don't want to get on their bad side, because see, these Negroes, they're nothing but animals. So you gotta know how to deal with an animal. Okay, that's just the thing. They're going, bro.
Sirach 16 verse 6. In the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled.
Read that verse again.
Sirach 16 verse 6.
Yep.
In the congregation of the ungodly.
So it says the congregation of the ungodly. Right, go on.
Shall a fire be kindled.
Shall a fire be kindled.
And you all know what that fire is.
And I mean, and really that's talking about Esau, but that could be applied to our people too, because they're going to get caught up into that fire as well.
St. Luke chapter 12 verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
Right, and that's the fire of Yahweh Shai. Because when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to start bringing his little fire to the table. Okay, his style of fire to the table. And it's just people just going to get zapped left, right, hand, and center, including the 2/3 of our own people that want to be wicked. Okay, because we can get on Esau all day, we can get on the so-called white man all day, but we know so-called white man, he's nothing right now. Okay? It's like sometimes like beating a dead horse, constantly getting on Esau. But we gotta get on him for edification. Okay, because that's why we out. We gotta tell the people where they're going because of what they've done. But that's what we out. You know, but what I'm saying is this is that the 2/3 of our own people, a lot of them are evil. So the house or the congregation of evil doers shall flame come before. Read that verse again.
It says, in the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled.
Right. The congregation of the ungodly shall fire be kindled. So if there's a group or a tabernacle of people that are up to no good, whether they be other nations or especially Jacob, guess what? They're gonna be consumed by the fire, whatever fire that may be. Okay, whether that be the missiles, okay, because World War III is on the verge anyway, or whether that be the fire that comes from Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's just the thing on that going.
And in a rebellious nation, wrath is set on fire.
Right, in a rebellious nation, wrath is set on fire. And that rebellious nation is obviously talking about Israel, our people, 2/3 of them. So them that rebel against the word of the Lord especially, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm going to say, you got guys that used to be, you know, roadman, that used to be a part of that roadman situation. Okay, and guess what? The Lord ain't gonna destroy that. The Lord ain't gonna destroy man if he repents from that. Hey, it tells you that in Matthew 12, it says all sin shall be forgiven, but the sin that cannot be forgiven is the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Okay, so you could be forgiven in that, but if you don't repent from your ills or your sins, then you're going to be destroyed. Point blank, period. I could sit down and talk to you, look, do this and do that. You're still going to be destroyed if you don't correspond with the right thing. Go on, bro.
Yes.
Because what we're teaching is the ticket or the keys to your salvation. And if you're not corresponding with what we're bringing out, you still be destroyed. That means you wicked. There's no middle. Because I want to be babbling on.
Going with this guy, man. You're talking about this is Sirach 10 verse 2. Can I break it down?
Yeah, go on.
You're like, go. Verse 10, he died. Who shall justify him that sinneth against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life?
Yeah, you got it, bro. You said you wanted to break it down. You got it.
So for this guy, right, he dishonors his own life, so why should we protest him?
Good point. That's a very good point.
Who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life. Because in the kingdom, he's going to have to remember that he was a drug dealing nigga, man. So he dishonored himself. So why should I honor him by protesting for him? Like he was one of the elders. Like you killed Elder Tahar. You fucking crackers. No, I'm not going to do that.
You know, and that's just the whole thing. And that's a very good point. I like that point you brought out there. Because, I mean, how you going to protest for somebody that's a low-life? A low-life gremlin, man. A low-life monster on the street. You can't, man. If you can, beat up some more, bro.
Just going into different problems. It's different topics. You know how it is. Change the topic. There was a scripture I was going to bring up. Micah 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. We shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Right, and that's what our people are into. They're into this world. They're trying to make it, because the only thing that they see is what this world brings unto them. They can't see anything outside of this world. You know what I mean? And hey, this world here, this society, which is the revival of ancient Rome, it's going to be destroyed. And that's what Jake don't see. Jake can't see that there's going to be another kingdom after this one. Jake don't know that the historical documentation of the ancient world, how the ancient world went down. In the ancient world, you had different kingdoms that last for a couple of decades and then came out of power. And you had another society that came up, sprung up. And that society came down. So because Jake don't know that history, Jake don't have that concept that maybe this society is going to be destroyed and the next one's going to come up. Or just people in general. They don't know nothing. Go on, bro. But it says, I got to elaborate on that precept. I didn't break it down. Where it says, what is it? Micah 2 and 10, it says, depart, right. All ye workers of iniquity, right?
Yeah, arise and depart.
Yeah, arise and depart. This is not your rest. And that's what we're supposed to do. It doesn't literally mean that we're supposed to go on an airplane and fly out of England or America. It means spiritually. How do you depart from this place? By taking heed to the word of Yahweh, by taking heed to the words of righteousness. Okay? That's how you depart spiritually.
Okay. Romans 12 verse 2, this is how you do it. And be not conformed to this world.
Beautiful.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
And that's how it's done. That's how you do that. That's how you depart from the world. It's by transforming yourself. It will be that verse again. You gotta read that all over again, because I forgot.
Romans chapter 12 verse 2.
Yeah, go on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Right, be not conformed to this world. That's the key point. Because this world is not a conform. Hold that. Give me, what is it? John 2. John 2, where it says, the love, whosoever loveth the world, you don't know.
What's that again?
I think it's John 2.
Love of the world, he said, yeah.
John 2.
He said, verse John chapter 2, verse 15.
Right.
Love not the world.
Yeah.
Neither the things that are in the world.
It says, love not the world, neither the things that are of the world. Go on.
If any man love the world.
Right. If any man love this world here, okay, this wicked society here, go on.
So what? The love of the Father is not in him.
Right, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love this society, and your mind and your body and soul and spirit is in this world, then you don't love the Heavenly Father. Because you can't serve two masters. Okay, you either gotta love one or hate the other. You either gotta hate the ways of this world, which you lose this world, Satan. Okay, the physical counterpart of Satan is the so-called Europeans, the Edomites. Alright, you're going.
And that's why Jack is trying to find the timeline, because those guys, when they came back here, he spoke about how the end will come in 2019.
Right.
So Jack was looking for a timeline, so he knows, okay, if it goes down tomorrow, I'll repent today. He's trying to find out how long he can be wicked for.
Yeah. Jake is evil, man.
Trying to find out how long he can stretch it out for. You know,
Jake
19, okay, that means I still got another 2 years.
to be a faggot.
Yeah. Jake is trying to find out a timeline, man. Trying to find the exact date and everything when which poster is gonna come, man.
Jake is evil, man. This is I read this is Micah chapter 3, verse 1, and I said, "Here I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel, is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil."
Right, who hate the good and love the evil. And that refers back to that Charleston situation. Okay, because you got a bunch of boneheads that are protesting on this guy. Protesting, literally protesting. And this guy, you know, you can look at this guy and you can tell by the spirit he's up to no good. He's either a drug dealer, or he's probably one of those guys where, you know, he'll probably, you know, ransack your house, steal your TV, steal all of your goods. Okay, or either commit adultery, sleep with a woman. These are the type of guys, these are the type of animals that we dealing with out right now. Okay, in the shores of America, the urban shores of America, in the urban areas of Great Britain. These guys gotta go. They gotta go, man. And you know what too? And you know what's so bad about it too is that these are the same idiots that are holding back the kingdom. All right, because it tells you in what is it? It tells you in I think it's Kings, where it speaks about how if all Israel was to turn away to the east and pray to the Lord, then Yahweh would have to come.
Solomon's prayer.
Yeah, Solomon's prayer. So if all Israel was to pray to the Lord and agree with what we were saying, Yahweh would come. But they're not going to do that. Okay, but it's cool because that's not to be fulfilled. That's not to be fulfilled. What's to be fulfilled is that the 2/3 get destroyed. So that has to come in effect.
Back in the 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Now we're getting back on the point. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are of the world. Go on.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Right, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love this particular world here, the love of the Father is not in you. You love the devil. You love the ways of the society. Okay, if you love this world, if your mind is inclined with this world, you agree with the LGBT, you agree with child molestation, you agree with bestiality, because that's what this world is all about. All of these sort of things. Okay, you may say that I myself personally, I'm against that sort of thing, but you are. You are with it. Because if you was against it, then you would live in a different fashion. Okay, that might not be the scriptures, but we don't like this world, man. And if you, like I said, we don't like this world. So being that we don't like this world, how are we supposed to conduct ourselves in a different fashion, but really the ways of the scriptures? Okay, go on, bro.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes,
Right, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. Go on.
and the pride of life
And the pride of life.
is not of the Father, but is of the world.
In 5 days' time, you know, I'm gonna get this house. You know, I wanna see if I can make my child. See if I can get that child go to university, a couple of years at university. You know, and then from there, I'm gonna get me a job, a good job. It's probably gonna pay me like £30,000 a year. I can go traveling and I can do this, etc. And you planning your life out in this world. Okay? So it says, read that verse again.
All that in the world, the lust of the flesh,
Right.
and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
And the pride of life. That's what I was talking about, the pride of life. Because this society makes you so proud too, arrogant. Which that's not the spirit you're supposed to be in. Pride was not made for man. You see that? And it says the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh, because you got harlots out here dressing all sexual, provocative. You got men that will commit adultery for dropping the dime. Okay, they may see a nice car, look at that Lamborghini, look at that Ferrari. Rare. But guess what? When this society goes to an economic end, there's not going to be no more this hoopla that we see going on there. There's not going to be no more, oh, look at that chick over there, or look at that car over there. I want to get that house one day, I want to get that car one day. It ain't going to be no more of that. You're not going to be thinking about these things. You're going to be thinking about how am I gonna eat? Because it's gonna get so terrible out here that they're gonna shut these stores down. There's one behind me right now, and there's a couple of stores in front of me over there. So they're gonna shut these stores down, and they're gonna shut all of these different buses. Everything's gonna stop. Okay, and then they're gonna block the streets. You see these different roads in London, the highways, they're gonna block everything. So on that day in time, you're not gonna be thinking about, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that in the future. You're gonna be thinking, I need to get something to eat. Go on, bro.
Because last time when the recession happened, people would get up, go to work, and find out the whole plant or whatever they hope to work just shut down.
Right.
Just like they never received a phone call or a message or anything. Just like that, it's gone.
Yeah.
And they're saying the one that's coming now, it's gonna be worse than before, man.
That's
just
right.
Like that, like the system just shut down. Like you work, you turn the news on, you try to go to work, whatever, you find everything shut down. You don't know who's gonna hit or what.
That's right.
But
Yeah. I know how that feels because I don't mean to change the topic. But flipping, I remember one time I was trying to get paid, and Monday came and I didn't get my money. I went to my bank account, no money. And so I think, one money, I send emails to them. That's the only way you can contact them, send email. Or phone them and say, I'll send an email. Nothing. So for 3 days straight I wasn't getting paid. You know how angry I was. When shit happens unexpectedly, you're not ready for it.
You bug out.
You bug out, man. I know how that feels, man. Still. So, you know, shit.
And you in the truth too, so you can imagine when it happens to regular people that don't know the truth.
They gonna go suicide, man. They gonna slit their throat, man.
that's why billionaires are committing suicide.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
those of you all shares or whatever, let's say you're worth about $1 billion, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in $100 million debt
Right. That's right.
because of the downfall of the way the recession thing works.
Yeah.
You find yourself in that debt, you owe the money now.
Yeah.
You had $1 billion, but now you owe $100 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that, man.
And that's the whole thing. This society is going to be on lockdown, this whole thing. They're going to shut everything down.
So to us, there's going to become a time here where you don't get views, you don't get audience.
Right,
but
right,
all
right.
of a sudden they're going to have 100 people
Asking what's going on. And you know what? And you know what as well? On that
Because,
day,
yo.
on that day, I'm gonna say this again because I haven't said this in a long time, man. And on that day, man, I'm telling you, okay, when everything shuts down and this nothing but records carrying on in the street, hey, man, don't ask me to break nothing down to you. I said break nothing. I said, you know what I mean? So don't ask me to break nothing down to you, man, because I'm not gonna break nothing down to you. Oh, brother, you know, can you help me? What's the name of the Lord? Can you break this scripture down for me? Please, brother, please. I'm begging you. I agree with the Israelites, man. I agree. What's his name? Etc. I want you to say, look, man, it's not the time for me to teach you. Now is the time for you to judge me because you playing fucking games.
So, 2nd Ezra 16, verse 18. Verse 17, woe is me, you will deliver me in those days. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear.
And that's what's going to happen in this world. This whole entire system is going to happen. All of these people that rely on medication, they're not going to be to get no medication.
Yeah, they ain't gonna get no medication. You can't get a prescription.
Even these people that's in that have to rely on the wheelchairs. What if the wheelchair show? Because you gotta charge for bathrooms.
NHS.
Huh?
NHS.
It's gonna shut everything down. So NHS is gonna shut down, and all of these jokers that want to make fun of us, they're gonna find themselves panicking like hell. They're gonna be shitting themselves. I mean, literally. Okay, they're gonna be pissing in their pants, and they're gonna be shitting bricks. And they're not gonna be so tough after you. Even these fucking bar drinkers in there too, they're not gonna be so tough. They're gonna be pissing all over themselves, man, in that thing. And guess what, baby? We gonna be doing fine. We gonna be eating. The scriptures say they shall be hungry, but you shall eat. See that?
Jesus gonna be so good.
So this thing's gonna get very real, and it's not gonna be a laughing matter. It's not gonna be a joke. Go on.
They say in the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
Right, because the prophet Ezra had a vision and he saw what was happening. And the vision was so strong that he was actually in the vision. He was like, Lord, what am I going to do?
He's a man of the Lord getting business from the Most High.
Right.
And he's saying, what the fuck am I going to do?
Right.
Imagine the 2/3. If he is the man of the Lord, he's seeing the future. He's been elected. He's saying, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So at the same time, he was sick, I believe. He was even sick.
He said, who will deliver me in those days?
In those days, yeah. So if he was all messed up and all bugged out, okay, and mind you, back during the time of Israel, which was around the 5th century BC, people were a lot more stronger mentally. So if he was bugging out even at the time, then you could imagine, man.
I think Ezra was told that as well, about people before him were a lot stronger.
Yeah. Well, he said that.
Go after him, I'm gonna be even lesser than him.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a wisdom of Solomon still.
So that's just the whole thing. All of these people out here, it's gonna be really bad for them. It's not gonna be bad for us. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be eating them. That's just the difference, man. You know, and just to not get off topic. All those gremlins in the street corners that's promoting this bad man. Imagery, they're gonna get, man, I'm telling you, they're gonna flip. They're gonna flip. Them guys, they probably wouldn't even stand a day in that game. Stand the tracks. They wouldn't stand the tracks. So I'm gonna get to, I'll tell you what you can do.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Because of what was done. So all these scourges in this place are going to come for an amendment. Which amendment means for, I believe it means recompense, right? Something alluding to that. So because of the dryness of the city and the evils of the city, guess what? That particular city is going to deal with a lot of dramatic ills that's going to happen. The Lord is going to make this thing dramatic. It's going to be something so dramatic that is more effective. More so than what you see in a film. Alright, you're going to just start seeing people starving, begging for bread. Okay? Got snot all over their nose, got saliva coming out of their mouth. And just begging. Just looking bad. You know what I mean? But at one time they were proud. Okay, they were too big for their britches. They were prouder than others, and now look at them. So read that verse again.
It said, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish.
Right, so it says famine, tribulation and anguish going.
Are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they will not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Right, so even so, when that happens, they still not going to turn from their wickedness. They're still going to be unrighteous. So what's going to be the bill? Death, baby. It says the wages of sin are death. Is death, excuse me. So, you know, if our people want to mess about, you know, correspond to this, what they call it, the black consciousness movement, which it is black consciousness, because black, you don't see shit, you're lost. Okay? That's just the thing. You don't, what are you seeing? You're not seeing anything. There's no light. Okay? So they're in blackness anyway, so it's correct. But them dudes that want to stay in that format and they want to subscribe to that bullshit philosophy of Egyptology or whatever, guess what? They're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be ones begging bread. And then they're going to realize, oh shit, them guys wearing the funny robes, the Israelites, they were actually telling the truth. But it's going to be too late. See that? Go on. It's going to be far too late.
I said, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth.
So it says, visuals shall be so far cheap upon earth.
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Right.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth.
Right.
Sword, famine, and great confusion.
And that's what's gonna happen on an all-time high. You think what's going on in the Middle East is bad. You got young boys getting shut down, heads chopped off. There's actually footage on YouTube. You can actually see people with their heads chopped off, flesh lurking away from their skin. Their skin is hanging out. And it's gonna happen down here.
They're used to it.
And they're used to it. But guess what? In this society, everybody's been pretty much spoiled. Okay? How on their horse for a long time. So when that shit happens down here, I'm telling you, you're gonna see something out of a movie, or worse than what you've seen in the movie. Okay, and these gremlins that we're talking about, they're not gonna survive one day of that. All that tough guy shit is going out the window, baby. Even them bar drinkers too. All that tough guy act, that's going out the window. Okay, because we're not trying to. Because the thing with us, the difference between these people out here, they want to act tough, but we don't act tough because we know that we tough, so we don't have to act tough. A real tough guy acts tough at the right time. Okay, I don't have to walk on the street like I'm going to beat everybody up. I don't have to do all that because I know what I'm capable of. A guy that knows what he's capable of, he keeps his shit on the lock. You see, you don't have to act tough. These actors of acting tough, a lot of these guys are going to be found like bitches in that thing. Okay, even the same people that want to come up against us and talk shit, their ass is going to be swimming inside their fucking feces in their pants. That's what's going to happen. So I'm going to read this. It says, I remember the first time I met him, and I was 7 years old, and I got lost right here near the shop. And he walked me all the way back to my house. And he was friendly to everyone, like an older brother. So all of us, everyone had respect for him, and he had respect for us. A friend of Mr. Charles, Amina Patterson, 18, said he had a good heart, saying this should never have happened to him. Well, he should have never been up to no good. Okay, like we just read. If you're doing evil, then evil, hey, you can't expect good from that. Evil will multiply upon you, whatever you do. And that's why we're doing it right. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because the thing with us, we understand the consequences of doing wrong. And we understand that we don't flow into this truth and this understanding, and we know we're gonna get a missile on top of our head. Alright, and we wanna be fucking redeemed. We wanna get out of here, man. We wanna get out of these bodies, we wanna get out of here. That's what we want. So we're not gonna subscribe to this bullshit world, which promotes wickedness. We're not gonna do that. So read what you got.
Yeah, I just read how the end of verse 21, it says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth.
Right.
Sword, famine, and great confusion.
I tell you what, bro, drop that away and go back to what you reading before. You was reading something before. I forgot what it was. Micah. I think it was Micah 2. No, it's John. It was John 2. That's what this world will have you do. This world will have you do shit, crazy shit. This is so you can get known of this world. Like for example, these celebrities. The reason why them celebrities, they're highly regarded amongst the people because there's a lot of shit behind closed doors. Okay, to get to where they got to. But you don't know that. See that?
You're gonna have a whole lot of them in the audience as well.
Yeah. And guess what? And guess what? The real people that's gonna, the real men of the Lord, they're gonna get the actual fame. Because you're really the guys, man. All of these celebrities and all of that, they're a bunch of nobodies. We're the real celebrities. Okay? Go on, bro. You can perceive that.
1 John 2 verse 16, for all that's in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, whereas of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
Right, and that's just the whole thing. So this whole world is going to pass away, and everything that makes up this world, it's just going to be destroyed, man, off the face of the map. And guess what? We're going to come into power, and we're going to set the record straight. This earth is going to go back to where it's supposed to be. Alright, but the point of the matter is if you subscribe to this world, you're going to be destroyed along with it. But if you subscribe to the doctrine, which is the righteous word of Yahweh Shai, then you will last forever. It tells you my word, until heaven to earth pass away, my word shall never be thrown, shall never be taken out. Roughly paraphrasing. So if you subscribe to this, you will wind up in everlasting life. So what is the plan of getting out from amongst the destruction that's bound to come? by corresponding with the word of life. That's the way. Go on, bro.
No, that's it.
Okay. Yes, so I'm going to go back to this other article concerning the matter, because what you have going on right now is you have a bunch of people in Dalston that are protesting, flinging stuff, fire all over the place, because one gremlin got shot. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into that article right about now.
Let me read this.
Okay,
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin.
Right.